I just did something I never thought would be possible with DoorDash. I made $100 in 2 hours on a Tuesday. So you might be wondering, well, how is that even possible? I mean, Tuesdays are the slowest day of the entire week. There's no possible way you could make $100 in 2 hours. That's $50 an hour. Well, let me show you how I did it and some of the tools that you can use in order to even have a chance of doing this in your area. So it was during the middle of a shift, right? I'd been doing pretty good, but I had just had my worst hour of the shift. And the last order I had just completed was this one to Papa John's. Now, it doesn't seem too bad on the surface. I mean, it's under $1 per mile, so you probably are thinking, well, why would you take that? But it was taking me into a better area that I like to dash in, like a sub area, I guess. It's not taking me out of my zone, but it's taking me into a better little area that I like to dash in within my zone. And so I figured, you know what? Why not? $7.50 for 8.5 miles, might as well do it. It ended up taking me an entire hour, and that's because I got stopped in traffic. Because I had accepted this at 5:17, it was the peak rush hour time. So yeah, it took forever to get done. The restaurant was fine. I mean, the pizza was ready right when I got there. I may have had to wait like 30 seconds, but it was definitely not the restaurant's fault. It was just the fact that I was driving during the busiest time of the day. So I get done with that order and I'm like, okay, that sucked. Now what? And this is where things turned around. I got this order right here to Fresh Fin Poke. I think I'm saying that right. Poke. And it was $15.50 for 9.1 miles. Now you might be thinking again, this is a kind of a long distance order. Isn't this going to take you a while? Well, a lot of this was freeway miles. And for some reason, heading north at this time is not nearly as crowded as heading south. So I honestly was able to get it done really quickly. And just 25 minutes later, I had it done, dropped off, and I got this order. An absolute beast of an order to Pizza Hut, $12.25 plus, which means that the total is going to be higher. And it was only for 5 miles. So I was like, man, I'm going to have a really great hour. I just completed a $15.50 order in 26 minutes. Now I got this banger order. We are cruising right now. So I get that order done, and it ended up being $14.74. So already I'm over $30 this hour. And then DoorDash hits me with this, $8.50 plus, and it's only for 2.5 miles to Village Baker. I'm like, I can literally get this order done before the end of this hour. I'm going to have at least a $38.50 hour. This is going to be crazy. So I dropped that order off, and that one ends up being $9.50. So $40 that hour. And I'm like, holy crap. I don't think I've made $40 an hour on a Tuesday in years. I mean, I don't know how long it's been. Little did I know what was about to happen. Holy crap. We just had back to back absolutely incredible orders, and we just made $40 that last hour. I was honestly getting worried because the hour before, we only were able to complete one order because of all the traffic. And it was just a long distance order. I don't even know if I recorded it, but I was getting a little bit worried there. And then we just had that amazing hour. And then get this, the next 2 orders I get, both to Pizza Hut, both just absurd orders. This total is going to end up being like $20. Little did I know it would be much, much higher because both are total will be higher orders, if I remember correctly. And it's for like 2 miles combined. What is going on right now? So I am out of my mind at this point. I am ecstatic. I'm like, holy crap, what a stroke of luck, because this just doesn't happen on Tuesdays. So I dropped those orders off. The first one ends up being $14.73 with that hidden tip in there. And the next one, $19. I was out of my mind. Holy crap. This order was only about 2.5-3 miles, and I ended up making $34 from it. $34 for a 2.5 mile order. Probably the best stack order I've ever had. At this point, I thought, okay, my luck's going to run out, right? DoorDash evens itself out. I'm going to get hit with a bunch of bad orders in a row, and this is not going to go as smoothly as I would hope. And then comes this order, $19.75 for only 11.8 miles, and a lot of those miles are freeway miles. So once again, I'm like, this is just not happening right now. How is this even possible? And so I get to Rice King Express. I just had a DoorDash pickup.
Huh?
Just had a DoorDash pickup. Elena.
Okay, one more ready.
Okay. And I run into my first roadblock. There was a little bit of a wait in there. I had to wait about 3 or 4 minutes, which honestly, not too bad for how high of a payout this order is. Is this for you?
Yeah.
All right, there you
so
go.
much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, have a
Take
good
care.
one.
Good night.
So I had dropped that order off, and apparently there was a hidden tip in it. It ended up being 25 cents higher with a total of $20 for that order. So at this point, I had made $94 in the past hour and 45 minutes roughly. And I'm like, okay, I got to get one more order done. I got to get $100 in 2 hours. That would just be absolutely crazy. And then DoorDash hits me with this order from Papa John's, and I got it done real quick. Well, not that quickly. I mean, it could have been quicker, even though the restaurant had the order ready when I got there. When I showed up to the customer's house, it was a hand it to me order, and you know how those go. I ended up waiting a solid minute before the person finally came to the door. There you go. Yeah, have a go. But yeah, I ended up making $102 in just 2 hours with DoorDash. And so yeah, there was definitely some luck involved, and you definitely can't control what orders DoorDash is going to be sending you. But the reason I was able to put myself in a position to get these type of orders and to make that $100 is because of two things. The first one is my acceptance rate was in the mid 60s, low 70s this entire time, right? And that means I had access to the Priority Dasher program, which means DoorDash was giving me priority to these big orders over other Dashers who might have a 20% acceptance rate. And also my customer rating was at a 4.94, which also helps a little bit as well. So I was getting priority. And then the second thing was that I'm a part of the pizza delivery program, which if you guys aren't a part of, you should definitely sign up for it. Because without that, I wouldn't have been able to do really any of these orders. I mean, let's go through and count. Out of the 7 orders that I completed during that time frame, 4 of them were massive pizza orders. So those are the 2 ways that I set myself up in order to have a shift like this. I had a high acceptance rate, a high customer rating, which allowed me to have priority access, and I was a part of the pizza delivery program, which really gets you some of the best orders out there. Yeah, you run into the occasional crappy Little Caesars order, but you also run into orders like these that I'm showing you right now. So that is how I was able to make $100 in just 2 hours of DoorDash. Holy crap.